Actually, it's funny, someone said to me about this album, it sounds like the Salvation Army coming for the end.
Do you still practice yoga each morning?
Actually not each morning, but it kind of seems like it's better with I don't know, it's hard to keep the discipline. I think I just forget the routine, so I sort of, when I do it on my own or, you know, without a teacher, it always seems like I just kind of do, there's only 5 minutes of stuff to do, and I'm like, somehow when you're doing a full class, it's like an hour, so I think it helps to have someone directing you. Otherwise you just rush into all the postures and you sort of like, okay, that's it.
Do you need this kind of, are you a disciplined person yourself?
For some things, I guess. I mean, I definitely used to be. My mum always used to be really impressed by how kind of like disciplined I was playing the trombone. I wasn't even that good at it, you know, but I just kind of like was like, no, I'm gonna do this, you know, every day, like sort of playing the trombone. I think it was good to play the trombone. I always think that the way I do like loops and little things with my voice now, it's a lot to do with listening to what happened before, and you know, the trombone is quite a free instrument, you know, you always have to listen a lot to tune yourself. I think it was a cool instrument for me.
Does it also resemble the human voice well, do you think?
It can do, I guess, if you're really skilled. I was never really that good at the trombone, but yeah. It distorts well, you know, when you blow really hard it sounds okay. Cool. I never discovered Fred Wesley when I was a kid. If I'd have discovered him, everything would have been different, you know.
You would have been in a big band maybe now?
Yeah, maybe that would have been bad, you know.
Did you play as a kid in a big band in England? In a brass band?
Yeah, in a brass band. It's very English.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's funny, someone said to me about this album, the new album, that it sounds like the Salvation Army coming for the end of the album, you know. And I'm like, oh wow, that's weird, because in a way the band I played with at school was kind of like this, you know. They're really good actually. But yeah, we played all these really northern working man songs and stuff, you know. Pint of bitter and a nice brass band, you know. So it was very...
Did you like the music, or was that maybe why you stopped from playing trombone because of...
Yeah, it was actually. I wanted to play jazz and like more freeform, and my teacher was really not into that kind of music and was just like, well, do you know your scales? And I was like, no, and he's like, well, so you can't play jazz. And I was like, he's wrong, you know, that's not what it's about. It's not what I thought it was about. So in a way I knew that he just didn't want me to go there, you know. For a lot of people, jazz is a dirty word, you know. It smells funny or whatever, you know.
So with this record you kind of proved him wrong, or you, along the way, that you maybe...
Well, but also, funnily enough, I think I welcomed in a lot of my influences this time around, and perhaps even back to those days playing with the brass band. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow there was a nostalgia playing that stuff. It's really beautiful, you know, sometimes to sit in a room with all that brass, and when it really gets good and you're like, whoa, you feel the room like really loud and full of these crazy instruments. It was kind of amazing, really.
What happened after you quit this teacher? Was there something else you did then after that, or you dropped the trombone totally? Yeah,
I was kind of more into like playing the guitar and, you know, but to be honest, I was more into these things, you know, more into like pedals than I was the guitar, you know. I just always tried to save up for a new pedal just so I could, you know, just play a little bit, but it was just, I was more interested in the electric part of the guitar than the guitar after a while. And I think that kind of made me more interested in like getting other stuff. When I was 16, I had like my first little sampler and keyboard. I put all the money I had into this little sampler and just basically just spent every waking moment on that, just trying to work out how to make music.
Do you have the feeling that there's a similarity between really studying an instrument and maybe studying your gear in that sense?
You know, you've got to know, I think, you've got to, yeah. It is an instrument. I mean, working with Christian Vogel back in the day, like he was really insistent that electronic instruments are as valid and can be learnt just like a guitar, you know. You can really work out how to play. You can play rough, you can play like exact, you can play, you know, you can think about what it is you want. I mean, but Kraftwerk made an incredible range of tone back in the day from electronic machines. I think opened people's ears to the possibility of like, you can make a lot more music with electronic machines, not just Kraftwerk obviously, but a lot of people started to make all this music with electronics.